God-level duplication system. Chapter 61. Sword Intent. The next moment, under everyone's watch, two palms hit each other. A loud explosion rang out, and the aftershock spread in all directions. Many of the disciples on the square were shaken to the point that their vitality rolled and rolled, and their eardrums hurt. They looked at the two people in the arena, and their expressions became even more shocked. After the two people attacked, they both retreated. After retreating 7 or 8 meters, they finally stabilized their bodies and came to a stop. The two of them were actually evenly matched in this clash. The crowd immediately burst into an uproar upon seeing this. 1 month ago, Lin Xuan was only an early enlightenment stage warrior, but now he is at most a Qi gathering stage warrior. He shouldn't have reached the peak of the Qi gathering stage yet. However, he didn't fall into a disadvantageous position when facing Chen Yuzi, who had already broken through to the Qi transformation stage. This meant that Lin Xuan really had the strength of a Qi transformation stage warrior. Although everyone had expected this, they were still shocked to see it with their own eyes. Putting aside the fact that Lin Xuan had the strength of a Qi gathering stage in the enlightenment stage, however, after Lin Xuan had reached the Qi gathering stage, he had the strength of a Qi transformation stage. Was this the talent of a top genius in the sect? He was indeed unparalleled, far from what they could compare with. Everyone sighed in their hearts. On the arena, Chen Yuzi looked at Lin Xuan and was similarly shocked. Although he was mentally prepared, he was still unable to accept the truth when he saw it for real. Wasn't Lin Xuan a little too scary? Chen Yuzi was the #1 expert of the outer sect and the #1 genius of the outer sect. In front of Lin Xuan, he wasn't worth mentioning at all. However, this wasn't the time for him to think about these things. He did not want to lose to Lin Xuan and become his stepping stone. However, it was not easy for him to win. At least, if he continued to use his normal Qi transformation stage strength, judging from the palm strike just now, it was unlikely that he would win. Chen Yuzi had to reveal his trump card. Otherwise, if they fought to a draw or if they lost, it would be terrible. Besides, he had broken through to the Qi transformation stage. Although he could go to the inner sect, he was still participating in the competition today. Wasn't it all for the sake of glory? It didn't matter if he revealed his trump card, as it was only a matter of time. After that, Chen Yuzi said it in a deep voice. Lin Xuan, you are very strong. You have indeed surpassed almost all the disciples of the outer sect. However, I will not lose this battle. I will not hold anything back from now on. I will fight with all my strength. I hope you can take this move of mine. Chen Yuzi's words spread out and caused a huge commotion on the battlefield. A Qi transformation stage cultivation base wasn't at all of Chen Yuzi's strength. He still had some reservations. Could he be stronger? Chen Yuzi was worthy of being called the #1 expert of the outer sect. All the disciples were looking forward to it. Especially the old disciples, they were all looking forward to Chen Yuzi's victory. Although Chen Yuzi had broken through to the Qi transformation stage, he was going to the inner sect soon. However, he was also an old disciple, and he represented the group of old disciples. As for Lin Xuan, his talent was extremely high and his strength was also terrifying. He had surpassed all the disciples of the outer sect, except for Chen Yuzi. However, he was only a new beginner-level disciple for a month, and he represented the group of new disciples. If Lin Xuan won, it meant that the new disciples had surpassed all the old disciples. If that were the case, how could they still have any dignity left? They didn't even dare to show up in front of the new disciple, let alone in other aspects. Therefore, they all hoped that Chen Yuzi would win the last match. The new beginner-level disciples were the complete opposite. They hoped that Lin Xuan would be able to erupt once again, maintain his winning streak, and win first place in the competition. With this, all the new disciples would have a lot of faith and they wouldn't have to worry about being bullied in the outer sect anymore. On the arena. Alright. When Lin Xuan heard this, his expression was grave. He wasn't as indifferent as before. He knew that Chen Yuzi was different from his previous opponents. He was much stronger. It would not be easy for him to defeat Chen Yuzi. Therefore, he didn't choose to defeat Chen Yuzi with one strike. Instead, he tried to confront Chen Yuzi. He wanted to test his true strength after he had duplicated so many treasures. In addition, he had won many battles in a row. As long as he could defeat Chen Yuzi, he would be able to shake the outer sect and even spread the news to the inner sect. He had also obtained a lot of energy points. There was no need for him to reveal too much of his strength. Chen Yuzi's expression was solemn. He stretched out his hand and grabbed a long, slender, treasured sword. The breeze sword was in his hand. On one side of the sword, a faint light flashed. It actually split the air above into two in an instant. Immediately after that, a sharp light that seemed to tear apart the void was emitted from Chen Yuzi's body. It spread out in all directions. The disciples on the square felt as if a steel knife had just cut through their skin. They felt pain. They couldn't help but retreat. They even felt a sharp pain in their eyes when they looked at Chen Yuzi. They hurriedly looked away, unable to look at him directly. Everyone was overwhelmed with shock. What's going on? What martial art is this? How can he be so strong? I don't even dare to look at him anymore. The square was in chaos. All the disciples were boiling with fear. This power that they couldn't even see made them extremely shocked. On the high platform, the Grand Elder and his true disciple, Shu Anlin, had a much higher cultivation base compared to the other disciples of the outer sect. They had both reached the spirit opening stage. They were not affected at all. However, both of them were equally shocked. This is sword intent. No, it's the embryonic form of the concept. As for the existence of the sect seniors, the two of them recognized it with a single glance. But even so, the two of them were still shocked. I never thought that the outer sect would produce a top genius like Lin Xuan. There's actually a disciple who has just broken through to the Qi transformation stage and has already comprehended the embryonic form of the concept. Not bad. Grand Elder's expression turned into a pleasant surprise. The concept was the initial manifestation of the laws of all things in the world. It was very difficult to comprehend it. Not to mention the Qi transformation stage, even many condensation spin stage warriors couldn't do it. Even though they had already reached the spirit opening stage above the condensation spin stage, they had only comprehended 20% of first grade. Chen Yuzi, on the other hand, was still in the Qi transformation stage, and he could already use a concept to break through to the beginner level. Although it was only in embryonic form, it was already very impressive. That was why Grand Elder was so excited. That's right. He is invincible among the Qi transformation stage beginner level concepts. He should have the potential of a spirit opening stage. Shu Anlin, who was standing at the side, also had a surprised expression on his face. Although Chen Yuzi couldn't compare to Lin Xuan, he could still be considered a genius. He also didn't expect that there would be two geniuses worthy of his attention among this batch of new disciples. Of course, he's nothing compared to you. But compared to the other disciples of the outer sect, he's already a rare genius. Of course, he can't compare to Lin Xuan either. When Grand Elder heard this, he smiled and said it in an indifferent tone. However, Lin Xuan might lose this match. Although it's in embryonic form, it's still a concept. It's extremely powerful. Once Chen Yuzi unleashed the concept along with his martial arts, it would be as if the power of heaven and earth had been added to it, and its power would increase several times. Although Lin Xuan's strength isn't bad, he is still a Qi gathering stage level 4, and he has only been cultivating for a short period of time. Chen Yuzi was already in the Qi transformation stage, so if his strength increased a few times, Lin Xuan would be no match for him anymore. Shu Anlin replied. As for whether Lin Xuan would be able to comprehend the concept, neither of them had thought about it. Because, not to mention the Drifting Cloud sect, even the entire Kangyuan country had never had such a record.